Alright guys, so this is going to be another talk through video. So I have my brows done and my makeup and everything else. So I'm gonna start with my foundation routine. I'm also probably gonna show you guys how I contour and highlight. It's very simple. I don't do anything super complicated. Okay, so I'm gonna start off by going in with my Neostrata oil-free mattifying fluid. And I've talked about this before. I haven't been using it recently because it was cold here, so during the winter months I'm not as oily, but it's starting to get warmer now and I've noticed that my skin's getting super oily, so I've been using this again. So I just take about a pea size amount in my hand and then I put this all over my face. And I really focus on like my nose and like where I really get oily. And this stuff like absorbs into your skin really fast, so after I've put on my fluid, I'm gonna go in with my primer, and this is the Present Primer by Philosophy. And this is one of my favorite primers that I've been using. It's oil-free, and what my favorite thing about this primer is that there's antibacterial properties in it. I can't talk today. It does fill in pores and fine lines, but not as much as I would like it to. So I usually go over it with a pore filler, which I'll show you guys in a minute. So I'm just gonna go in with this. I'm gonna take, again, pea-size amount. I'm running out of this stuff too. Okay, so you're supposed to let this set for 5 minutes apparently, but not a big deal. So if I want to fill in my pores a little bit more, I go in with a pore filler, and I have one that's by Clinique, and it's a pore filler as well, but I can't seem to find it, so I'm using my Smashbox Photo Finish Targeted Pore and Line Primer. And so this stuff's just meant to be not on your entire face, so I just put a little bit here. I'll do a little bit on my chin. And my forehead. Right between my brows. Okay. So after everything's all filled in, I'm gonna go in with my foundation. So the foundation I'm gonna be using today is my L'Oreal True Match Foundation in W4. Natural Beige is the name, and it's one of my favorite foundations, but I went tanning today, so I feel like I got a little bit darker, even though on camera it looks like I'm still pale. Anyway, so I'm just gonna take a little bit on the back of my hand. And for my foundation, I've always used the Sigma Flat Top Kabuki, the F80. This is my favorite way to apply foundation. I've tried using a beauty blender to apply my foundation. It just, I don't know, this is just so much quicker and it gives you like such a beautiful finish. So this is what I've been using since day one, and I don't know if I'll ever change it, to be quite honest. So the new trick that I've been using, so even though I don't want my face to be as oily, I still want it to look dewy. I know it seems kind of silly, but I would rather make my face look oily with like product as opposed to like my skin being completely greasy. So one of the tricks that I've been using is taking MAC Fix Plus, and I've been spraying my brush just before I apply my foundation. So I'll spray it a few times, and then I'll go in with my foundation, and this helps sheer out your foundation and it gives you this like dewy finish. I'm not crazy about a full matte finish, but a semi matte and a little bit more dew on the dewier side is what I prefer. So I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna pat this into my skin. And if you find it's dry out, you can just go in and spray a little bit more. No big deal. So after I have my foundation down, I don't really do too much, but this is what I do for myself. After I have my foundation down, then I'll do my concealer, and I'm using a new concealer. This is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. I really love this stuff. Like, I'm really impressed with it. It's kind of expensive, but whatever. It's in medium light neutral. I don't think there's a number. But it's so much lighter than the MAC Pro Longwear concealer. I love the MAC Pro Longwear, but I don't know, this one's crazy. I just like absolutely love it. So it comes with a little applicator that looks like this, and I just go ahead and I go right underneath my eyes, and I go in a upside down triangle all the way like so. And then before I go in and blend it out, I just take my MAC Prep and Prime in Light Boost, and I just put this just around my mouth here. I feel like it gets really pigmented here a little bit, and I'll even go over it just a teeny bit. My concealer, and I'll use this on the bridge of my nose to highlight, and my forehead, chin, and keep it little. And then I go in, so for my concealer, I always use a damp beauty blender. It's my favorite way to apply my concealer. So I'm just gonna go in, I'm gonna hold this up so you guys can see what I'm doing still, and blend my concealer out. So after I've blended my concealer out, I like to spray the larger end of my beauty blender with MAC Fix Plus, and then I'll run this all over my entire face. Just to add some moisture and dewiness. Okay, so that's pretty much all I do for foundation and concealer. So that's pretty much all I do for foundation and concealing. Like, I don't go super crazy, but after I put on all my cream products or liquid products on, I go in and set everything. So I'm going to be using my Anastasia Contour Kit in Light, and I'm going to go in with this banana shade right in the middle here, just on a e.l.f. mineral powder brush. And I'm just gonna set everything. This is just to prevent any sort of creasing, and this will help with preventing oil. So I always go over like my T-zone area with this, and sometimes I'll go in with this lighter shade here, and I'll just pat it on, because this is where I do get oily more so. Okay guys, so that's pretty much my my foundation routine. So now I'm gonna go in and contour my face. So again, I'm going to be using a Sigma small contour brush. This is the F05, and going in with the same Anastasia Contour Kit. I'm taking the shade right here, and this shade's called Fawn. And I'm gonna go in with my brush. You guys have seen me do it before. I haven't really changed it up, but I thought I would kind of put the foundation, contouring, concealing, and highlighting routine all into one, because I don't really do anything too complicated. So for contouring, the general rule is to go from the top of the ear, like angled to the corner of your lip, but you never want to go obviously all the way. So I usually generally stop right at the end of my eye here, and you want the most product to be laid down closer to your ear and hairline over here. So I'm gonna go in, you always wanna go in circular motion. Some people go in straight line. You can do that too if that works for you, but I like to go in circular motion. So I'm gonna go in starting here and work the product into my skin. So if you can't find, you can suck your cheek in too actually, and you'll see where it needs to go. but I don't need to do that. Like I have no contour on here, and you can kind of see where my cheekbone is. But if you don't have that, you can do that, or just, you know, take a brush and angle it and see where your cheekbones are. So I'm gonna go in, work this in. So the general rule with contouring, they say to go in the number 3. So you want to contour obviously here on the hairline, side of the forehead, cheekbone, and then underneath the jawline. So that's what I've been told, at least. So that's how I do it. So after I've laid down my contour, I go in with a little bit of a more, this is a very cool shade. So I'm going to go in with the shade next to it, and this is called Java. Just right over here. It's a little bit warmer. And I'm gonna go over the same spots. So we're gonna go here. It just kind of darkens it up a little bit. Makes it a little bit more. So if you ever feel like the contour is too heavy, you can always go in with your damp beauty blender and just kind of go over it. Whatever is left in terms of like foundation or concealer. So after I've contoured my face, I'm gonna go in with I'm actually gonna contour my nose first. I'm gonna take a eyeshadow brush, excuse me, and I'm just gonna go in with that shade right here called Fawn, which is the cooler toned contour shade. And I'm going to contour my nose. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my blush, and I'm just going to be using my favorite blush by MAC. This is called Melba. I'm just using a Quo Professional powder brush, and I'm just gonna go over the contour. Okay, so I'm just going to highlight now. I'm going to use my Anastasia contour kit again and using an e.l.f. angled brush, and I'm going in with the highlight shade right over here. And I'm just gonna highlight my cheekbones, bridge of my nose, forehead, and chin, and a little bit of my Cupid's bow. So I like to tap this product on. I don't necessarily like to wipe it on, but because it's such a subtle highlight, I just feel like you get the best pigmentation when you're put a little bit here and like circle it around. Or I guess halfway, whatever. Such a pretty highlight. I'll take anything that's left on the bridge of my nose, just like that. My forehead and Cupid's bow. Sometimes I intensify my highlight and I use my Elizabeth Arden Glimmer powder. This stuff's my favorite, and I can't believe I'm almost out. It's like really sad. And I'll just go over the same place. I place that first highlight. Alright guys, so this is it. This is my foundation routine. I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you guys want to see more, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!